there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. I had to write down the title for this joint and stuff. It's my next time. Many men in this space speak from speculation and not experience. And I wanted to, you know what, it's funny because at first I was going to talk about the whole personality piece. Because you know how you got some dudes, and I got to call out, I got to call out some bullshit. Guys think, oh, it's just looks, it just looks. Oh, personality don't matter. And, let me touch on that real quick. Talking about personality don't matter is stupid. Okay, she swipe right or she like what you see. Y'all still got to go on a date. That's where a lot of people lose out. Y'all still got to click personality-wise. No matter what. I don't give a shit how good you look. I mean, the looks, hey, great bait. That's why a body game. That's why I say let the barber bless you. Fix up as much as possible. Great bait. But what do I say women will say? He was all right till he opened his mouth and stuff. And okay, you go on a date, and then not just your personality. Say you extroverted and she's introverted. Or you introverted, she's extroverted. Contrary to popular belief, that might not match. People talk about opposites attract and stuff. They should say complementary. Now, if y'all complementary, okay, maybe. But that's just one thing. That's just one thing. What if y'all got different political beliefs? What if dude is far right and she's like far left and feminist and bisexual? Do you think they still going to work out? One's far right and extremely patriarchal. The other one is bisexual on some feminist stuff. You think they still going to work out? That stuff. They got different religious beliefs. You still think that's going to work out? And all of that, see, all the stuff you believe in, that goes into your personality. So explain that. You still got to have it. But then I thought about it some more, and I said, well, you know what? That should be obvious, but how come that's not obvious? Right? I started thinking about the bigger picture and stuff. And one of the inspirations for even thinking about the bigger picture, let me shout out the Grand Master of Verbal Seduction, Alan Roger Curry. I was checking out one of Brother Curry's videos last night. I forgot the title of it, but I'll put it in the description box. But he was getting into his view of the different pills and also different levels of incels. And, I thought about what he was saying about the red pill. Now, it was interesting. I was watching. I was like, well, damn. Because I remember on his page, there was a detractor bringing up my name, saying, I don't think Rom Wills is red pill. But according to Alan's definition, oh, I'm very red pill. So I'm like, oh, that was ironic. I thought about that because, like Alan was talking about, just to experience how women's duplicity and all of that and their sexual nature. I knew that since I was little. Shoot. I remember my mother explained all that shit. And then other older women in my family. My mother first told me about women's true sexual nature. I was 7. And this was when I was living in Southeast D.C. with the Ketchum Elementary. For those familiar with that area, I assume it's still up. You never know. But I never forget. Saw a little girl, this on a playground in front of a crowd of kids. A little girl sucked this little boy's dick. I mean, it stopped once the teachers came out and he got in trouble. But ironically, he got in trouble. Anyway, we won't get into that. So I told my mother. So she explained stuff to me, older women. And the reason why they told me, see, like what Alan was saying about blue pill and stuff, dudes be thinking, well, if they do this and this and this and get the women in my family, please. Well, other than what they were doing and and some older cousins and stuff, one of my cousins was he was a gigolo. Grandfather might have been he might have been a pimp. He was a numbers runner. He might have been a pimp now that I think about it. He didn't tell me, but I always saw him around women and stuff. So basically from these different sources, I always knew a woman's nature. I always knew it. So I was like, oh, okay. But that was from experience though. Even women cheating on their men. Now I knew they cheated from a child. First time I actually experienced this was, well, I seen it with some women in my social circles in high school, some girls in my social circles and stuff. Because even though I went to an all-male high school, my social circles outside of that was women. Plus, when we did stuff up there, like had sports games, and I was in a drama club, women would come up, so all I had to do was sit back and watch them. But the first time I experienced it, I was a freshman in college. First girl I hooked up with, she had a boyfriend. She told me she had a boyfriend, but she said she got needs. This was 1983. Oh, and for those people who think, oh, things changed. No, that shit was happening back then, and nothing's changed. Shoot. Just before I got in the car, I'll just say there's a married woman at this gym I'm at who's shown a lot of interest. And she said the same thing. I ain't do anything with it, but she said, I got needs. So I'm like, shit. Oh, man. But I know all this through experience, because I was thinking about that on a bigger level. I was like, well, hold up. How some guys not know you still got to have personality with women? How can they not know? And the only way they can not know, and the importance of it, they ain't dealing with no women. Ain't no way. They can like how you look and then talk with you and not be turned on. You know, you still got to have that verbal game. And that's what I was saying about game. You still got to talk to them and everything. You would know that if you interact with them. You would know that. You can't help but not know that. You know? Because think about something. I want y'all to think about something. I don't know if that came out right. Whatever. You got to know it. I mean, come on now. If you go on dates with a woman, what's the point of a date? To get to know each other. How many dudes have like had a woman, asked a woman out on a date, and then, you know, actually go out with her, but the date is boring? Even if the woman's attractive and something. I'm going to tell you what, because I know this from a male perspective. There were some women I've gone out with, and very beautiful. One had placed in a beauty contest and stuff. I hope she don't see this. She's an attorney now. Nothing to say about you, baby. I'm just being real, though, because we could be real with each other. One had placed in a beauty contest. One, I'll just say she has a certain level of fame. Certain level. I'd say she's in the history books. I'll leave it at that. Now, I hope she don't see it. She get real sensitive. But, in fact, I showed some people privately her. She's in the history books. I'll just say she has something at the African American Museum. I'll leave it at that. So very beautiful, but they bored me to tears. That's why nothing came out of it. It was just, you didn't have that feeling. I remember there was another woman, gorgeous head to toe, had a beautiful face. She was taller than average. She was about 5'10", but she had a beautiful face. Perfect. I mean, her body was perfect. I remember when I was still married and stuff. I'm going to bring up that married part in a second, though. But when I was still married, me and my wife were doing, selling some books at this expo and stuff. She came through. It was a fashion show. She came through. My wife saw her, and I said, oh, yeah, I went out with her before. I ain't doing anything. And my wife said, you didn't hit that? My wife said that shit. You didn't hit that? I was like, nah. She bored me to tears, be on the phone with her, be like, still went out with her. It was like no spark. Women are the same way. Women are the exact same way. They that way to this day. They always been that way and stuff. In fact, that's one of the reasons, you know what, I tell people to fix up their face as best as possible. But if you notice, I focus more on the body. And that's more from just experience, man. Just experience, man. My personal experience, man. And then I've seen this to be true with other men. And even talking with many women, because a third of my clients are women and who they really hook up with. And I know this because I say only a tiny percentage of the women I've had sex with would look at me and say, oh man, yeah, you got that great handsome face and shit. Most I would get was, I mean, conventional. They say, you all right. Never been called ugly, but all right by the women, right? The women, they say, you all right. They could walk out with me. But your body, though. They would go crazy over the body. And that's how I know. Now, the one thing I got from virtually every woman was sexy. That's why I say there's a difference between it, you know? Different, and to this minute, man. To this minute, man. Shoot. I mean, that's the thing. But it's from experience. But I be listening to a lot of dudes. I'm like, how many women have you been with? I be thinking that too. Everybody's talking experience. So even when sometimes somebody get in the comments, they'll say, I think. I think. You only say you think when you don't know. You know? Only time I usually I think is when I'm on the Deep Thought channel because I want you to think. You know, that's I throw out stuff just so people could comment. I get some deep comments over there too. I get some deep comments and stuff. But when somebody just saying, I think, it's like they don't know. People speculate. Like when you get all these dudes talking about what Chad and Tyrone do. You're not in the bedroom with them. You ain't in the bedroom with. How you know? You ain't a womanizer. You don't know what they doing. It's a far cry from a woman looking at a guy and say he attractive and whether he actually fucking. You'd be surprised. You assuming, but you don't know. Only way you know for sure is if that's not you, if that's your cousin, happen to be your brother, happen to be your best friend, and you just witness shit. Like you roommates with them, you see the women coming in and out of the place. In fact, I remember this one dude. I never forget this one dude. And his boy told me he was a player. Dude was about 5'8", chubby, 5'8" and chubby. His boy was the one saying, and they were roommates, right? His boy was the one saying, oh yeah, man, he be getting all these women in and out of the door and everything. That's how I know what's up out here. You know, either experienced it or got some credible like witnesses who's saying something. You know? That's why it's like a lot of stuff I'm talking about. Well, shoot, all the stuff I'm talking about is coming from experience. Because look, I'll just say this. Like all this stuff about a woman's nature, I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal. Everybody knew that. Honestly, I was probably an adult. I was in my 30s before I like really realized all guys don't get this. And this in my 30s is when I put out my book, Nice Guys in Plays. Because I remember guys would ask me about putting out a book, and I was like, men don't need this. All my friends were players and shit. You know? But that's from experience, man. And personally, man, I've experienced women on every level, man. Yeah, definitely rejection, dating, getting felt up, sex, just blowjobs, just making out. You know? And after a while, you see it. Up to this minute. Because the problem is a lot of guys making assumptions about what's happening and all of that. But when you say, do you know? What's your experience? And I do challenge some people sometimes. Sometimes I say, well, how many women have you actually talked to? How many have you dealt with? And like all these guys thinking they don't need personality or something. Say, oh, it's just looks. You worried about the bait. You can have the looks, but if your personality whack, shit. If your personality whack, what the hell? You still got to connect to the woman. You know? You still got to connect in women. Despite, and see the guys thinking, you know, you got the guys thinking, oh, well, you got to look like this to get sex. You know? You got to look like that Chad or Tyrone. You got motherfuckers who don't look like that getting pussy. And let me hit the money and status thing, because some people, well, he must have money. Motherfuckers ain't making money like that out here. Or status. You ain't no celebrity. Shit, that's what I was saying about game being a reality. They got something, and it's usually they just click. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing is that charisma piece and clicking with the woman. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you click with a woman personality-wise, she'll give you a couple points. But then if you look like, okay, like this, here's a general rule, because since people like using numbers. Say you a 10. Say you're a 10. Even though, let me share something else about that real quick. Women don't use numbers among themselves anyway. You either fine, you're ugly, average, whatever. They use adjectives. But so some dudes understand. Say the dude looks like a 10 to her. And she's like, yeah, he's fine. You know, jawline, all the stuff that, you know, that particular woman wants. Oh, before I even go there, keep in mind, all women got different types they like anyway. A man could be handsome to everybody else, and a woman's like, whatever, because there ain't no objective shit. Ain't no objective shit. People try to say that. That's some male scientists saying that shit. some racist male scientists at that. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. I'll call it for what it is and shit. You know, they want to feel like some white men look like the best. Bullshit. That's straight bullshit. So, because every group, they're going to have a different type of what they think is attractive. Every group. So, but whatever the case, and even then, within the group, it comes down to, like, comes down to the woman's different taste and all of that. But back to that number thing. Say a man is a 10. Like, the woman, she looks at the guy. She say, okay, he a 10. All right, so it's okay. She want to get to know him then. Okay, nah, he's definitely attractive to her. He could be tall to her, muscular, whatever she likes physically. Okay, he got it. All right, she get to talking to him. He sound dumb as shit. Now, at that point, if she's horny enough for him, she still might have sex with him in real quick, depending on the circumstances. But if, you know, dude's like, hey, let's go out on a date or let's do this or that, the woman going to be like, because he talking stupid and, you know, personalities don't click or something, it'll drop to a 5. Or he say something just totally annoys to her. Let me go back to the example. The dude far right, patriarchal. The woman far left, bisexual and shit. She bisexual and feminist. How long do you think that's going to last? She'd be like, shoot, she dropping them down right there. Probably lower than a 5 to her. And shoot, he might still want to tap it because she fine. Because that's one thing. Men, that's how we think. Men just thinking, okay, she fine, boom, I want to hit it. That thing about personality, all that shit. A dream for many men, let's just be real. A dream for many men is to tap it and she just leave. Let's just be honest. In fact, that's why a lot of dudes would try to justify playing for a prostitute. They'll say, I'm not paying for the sex, I'm paying for the leave. And if that's their life, that's what they want to do. But women think totally different. Women think totally different and shit. So that's one thing. Now, check it out. Say she see that same woman, she see a guy. Physically, he's a 5, but he's in a position to talk to her, get her laughing. She might not bump him up to a 10, but she might bump him up to a 7. That's one thing, because here's the thing. Here's the psychology. He get her laughing, say they in a social circle, they can talk all the time, right? Peep the game. He just talk, get her laughing. He compliment her, you know. He laughs at her jokes. Got her feeling good, right? Got her feeling good. Okay. Got her feeling good and everything. Okay. That's the thing. All of a sudden, when she starts seeing him, she's already smiling. She's already smiling. She feeling good. She feeling good. That go down to her for JJ. Boom. You know? And as long as he got her feeling good, that's all he need. And stuff. Indeed, sometimes a woman will acknowledge that the guy got her feeling good, click with her on that level. She'll tell her friends, you know, I don't look like, you know what? He don't look like all that, but, you know, he's sexy in his own way. I talked about that on my Patreon the other day. He's sexy in his own way. They'll say some shit. They'll acknowledge it, man. I've known plenty of women. They'll do that. They'll say that, too. Yeah, I know he don't look like much, but something about him. Yeah, something about him. He got her feeling good. And shit, don't give him some great sex skills and shit. Don't give him that guy who got that great stroke and shit. Got him hollering and shit. Oh, yeah. They'll forgive a lot. Now, would they want to have his baby? Maybe not. But shit, there's been some women that got caught up that way. You be wondering why. It's like he clicked. He got in there. You know? So, you know, but that, you know that from experience and shit. Shit, I've done that with some women. I've had plenty of women I was stroking for like years, been in relationships with and shit. But if I ask them, if I say, well, what do you think about my looks? Be honest. They say, Ron, I give you a 6. I give you a 5. If they want to use a number. Most of the time, they just say, oh, you look all right. I was like, okay. All right. Then they get down on their knees and keep sucking. I mean, shit. I'm just being real with y'all on some shit, man. I'm just being real. So, you know. And, you know, and you know, it's just, look, experience. That's how you know the shit, you know? Like, I'm going to tell you what, it's like something, shout out Cousin T-Talk, something he said about the sexual shadow world. He said every man need at least one day in there. Then they'll see a lot. You know, you understand. You understand. That's why everything I say, I know this, man. You know, 50 years of knowing it being introduced from the game and shit. And I haven't seen any difference. If you say socially, oh yeah, there's plenty of differences. But no, the game has changed socially. I give it that. Sexually, women's vaginas, what they do, how they cheat, how they roll around, there's no difference. There's no difference and stuff. And that's why, you know, in my stuff, I say, look, I'm more of a sex coach. I'm telling you how to turn a woman on sexually. The video I did today, you know, studying the women that you encounter, you can learn a lot. Because after a while, like, I can tell when a woman's going to cheat if she's down for it. I've told a couple. I remember I told a woman that, yeah, you better watch out. You're going to cheat on your husband. I never forget it. I think I talked about it before because it's one of my favorite experiences. Saw her at this expo. You know, we were cool and stuff. I ain't gonna get too many identifying details, but I'll just say I had worked with her before. All right, so we cool. You know, blase, quick discussion. I said, oh yeah, real quick, be careful. You open to cheat on your husband. All right. She stopped me. She said she agreed. Then we spoke for another hour. She spoke for another hour on why she would. But if you saw this woman in public or something, if you knew her, you'd be like, her? Totally, like, shout out Brother Curry again and stuff. Shout out Brother Curry again, the Grandmaster of Verbal Seduction. He mentioned that, some of these goody girls. If you have experience with them, you already know. Like I said, what people calling red pill now was normal to me. I've seen it, shoot. If you want to shoot, one of the best places, you want to get some pussy or something, you just trying to be a dog, go to a church. I'm serious, go to a church. That's one of the best places and shit. And let them know. Just let them know you ain't judging this shit. And you ain't going to tell the minister. In fact, if you want to go see the biggest players at a church, go there and just sit back and watch the ministers and the deacons and the choir. Well, no, the choir directors usually gay, but... they'll know too, because they'll know what the women doing. Trust me on that. Oh man. Just say, oh yes, I really love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And they say, oh great, let's have Bible study. You get over there, it's just you and her. Let's pray a bit. Shit. Oh Lord have mercy. But nah, that's just a real game, yo. That's some we just gotta be straight up with it, man. But nah, I mean that. I mean every word, man. I'm gonna tell you what, anybody who thinks so, that's all I say. What's your experience? How many relationships have you been in, man? How many dates have you gone on? Anybody who's gone on a number of dates know you better have some verbal game. If you went on some date and it didn't go to the next level, you didn't turn her on sexually. Because if she wanted to fuck, she'd fuck. Or she on a foodie call using you for your money. And you would know that. If your dates ain't working out, if you even getting dates, and I think that's a big problem. A lot of guys can't even get to that point. But once you get there, they ain't over. Because then what? Because you got some guys talking about get some surgery and shit. Okay, you got there. You got on the date. Now what? Now what? Seriously, now what? And even then, there's some women, they'll date a guy as long as he paying and shit. They'll shoot. That's their dinner money. They can save their money. Even if they got money, they'll save theirs. They'll save theirs. Trust me, even these women, there's a lot of talk about women not needing a man's money. And overall, they don't. But you got some slick women out there who they want to save their money. And I've known some women with some very good jobs. And I've known them. And they'll get all these guys taking them out on dates and stuff so they don't have to spend these. One woman tried to play me like that. She was making more money than me. And had alimony, but wanted me to take her to all these restaurants. I was like, you make more money than me. She didn't want to spend her money. So even that, if you got the experience, you know all that shit. All right? So anyway, though, man, I could keep going with this. But nah, I'll put my experience up against anybody's shit. I put my experience, because I'm hanging out with similar people. Their experience, I experience, guys you call womanizers, Chad and Tyrone's, whatever. I'm telling you the game, man. You know, bad boys. You know. Shit, the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We telling you the fucking game. And shit. That was funny. I remember somebody called me a polished Pookie. We won't even get into that argument. I thought I had to go into the store. I gotta get ready to go. And shit, I just remembered I gotta do something real quick and then go to the store. But anyway, let me end this and shit. But yeah, man. And the question is experience. Experience. Which one you want to go for? Experience or something. All right. So anyway, that's all. And you know, like I said, been married, been in live with a woman. Shoot, even if you want to talk about dealing with overseas women, that's another one too. The woman I lived with was from Japan, so, you know. And you know what? She wasn't even impressed about my looks. Yeah. Some other things, though. So anyway, though, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.